In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on June 13, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Pittsburgh Pirates versus Chicago Cubs. We've got some afternoon baseball on tap in Chicago. The Pittsburgh Pirates are in town to take on their division rivals, the Chicago Cubs, for the second matchup in a 4-game set. These two National League Central teams are battling it out on the diamond, and Friday's game promises a classic baseball atmosphere in the Windy City. Taking the hill for Pittsburgh is Paul Skeens, who has been absolutely electric and is making a strong case for being one of the best arms in the game right now. Don't let his 4-6 record fool you. That's more about a lack of run support than his own performance. The real story is in his jaw-dropping 1.88 earned run average and a tight 0.84 WHIP. He's fanned 92 batters while only walking 20, completely overpowering hitters who are batting a paltry .173 against him. In fact, he's given up 2 runs or less in an incredible 13 out of his 14 starts. On the other side, the Cubs are sending out their own rookie, Cade Horton. He's held his own so far, putting together a respectable 3-1 record with a 4.11 earned run average and a 1.3 WHIP through his first 6 starts in the majors. Look, the Cubs might have a better lineup on paper, and Horton has been a solid rookie, but this game boils down to one thing: value. We're getting a chance to back one of the most dominant pitchers in baseball at what is essentially a coin flip price. Skeens isn't just good, he's on an absolute tier right now. Over his last 22.1 innings, he's surrendered just 1 earned run on 9 hits. That's not just good, that's lights out. When he pitches away from home, he gets even stingier, posting a microscopic 1.19 earned run average and holding batters to a .168 average across 45.1 innings. You simply don't get many opportunities to bet on a pitcher this hot at this kind of price. It's a spot you have to take. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Pirates money line is our full game side pick. When we shift our focus to the run total, all signs point to a classic, low-scoring pitchers duel. With Paul Skeens on the mound, runs are going to be extremely hard to come by. The man has been a walking highlight reel all year. With his 1.88 earned run average and 0.84 WHIP, hitters just can't figure him out, as shown by that meager .173 opponent batting average. He almost never has a bad day, giving up 2 or fewer runs in 13 of 14 starts and never allowing more than 3 earned runs in a single outing. He's going to shut down the Cubs' bats. While Horton isn't on Skeens' level, he's competent enough to keep the Pirates' offense from exploding. This sets up a perfect environment where both lineups will have to scratch and claw for every run. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami Marlins versus Washington Nationals. We're heading to the nation's capital for some Friday night baseball. The Miami Marlins are rolling into Nationals Park to kick off a 3-game weekend series against the Washington Nationals. This matchup features a couple of National League East teams looking to gain some ground, with the 5th-place Marlins trying to play spoiler against the 3rd-place Nationals. Miami starter Edward Cabrera had a bit of a rough start to his season, but he has completely flipped the script and is pitching with serious confidence right now. The results speak for themselves. The Marlins have won 4 of the last 5 games he started, and he's been dealing with a razor-sharp 1.78 earned run average during that span. On the other side, the Washington Nationals bats have gone quiet, and they've struggled to give their own starter, Mitchell Parker, any support, dropping 5 of his last 7 starts. Let's be honest, neither of these teams is setting the world on fire, but the clear difference here is Cabrera's hot hand, which gives Miami a distinct advantage, especially when you factor in Washington's often shaky bullpen. Both the Marlins and the Nationals have been scuffling lately, looking more like they're in a race to the bottom than for a playoff spot. When you have 2 struggling teams, the smart play is often to just look at the odds and grab the better price. In this case, that value lies with the Marlins. The main reason is Cabrera, a young arm with a ton of talent who seems to be figuring it all out. Over his last 31 innings, he's given up only 7 earned runs on 30 hits, showing he can control games. The same can't be said for Washington's situation. Their offense has completely disappeared when Parker is on the mound, plating a pathetic 2 total runs for him in his last 3 outings. Parker himself hasn't been untouchable either, giving up 3 or more earned runs in half of his last 8 starts. When you put it all together, the starting pitching advantage clearly belongs to Miami. As our first pick for this matchup, the Miami Marlins money line is our full game side pick. A total set at 9 runs might seem reasonable when you look at these two clubs, especially considering their inconsistent bullpens and starters who don't exactly inspire confidence at first glance. However, if you look past the surface level stats, the under starts to look very appealing. Edward Cabrera has been in solid form lately, and he's facing a Washington offense that has gone completely dormant, hitting a collective .196 over their last 10 games, which is just dreadful. On the other side of the matchup, Mitchell Parker has actually pitched well against the Marlins, boasting a tidy 2.01 earned run average in 4 career starts versus Miami. And it's not like the Marlins lineup is a juggernaut either. They've been held to 3 runs or less in 6 of their last 7 contests. You've got 2 ice-cold lineups going up against starters who have reasons to be effective in this specific game, making a low-scoring game the most probable outcome. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Toronto Blue Jays versus Philadelphia Phillies. We've got an interleague battle on our hands this Friday evening. The Toronto Blue Jays are making their way down to Philadelphia to take on the Phillies in what should be a solid test for both clubs. The Jays are rolling into town with some serious momentum after just sweeping the St. Louis Cardinals. Their offense seems to be clicking, and the pitching staff has found a better rhythm lately. As for the Phillies, they're still trying to get by without their big gun, Bryce Harper. They managed to take 2 of 3 from the Cubs, but that came right after getting swept by the Pirates. Go figure. That's baseball for you. The pitching matchup features Kevin Gausman for Toronto and Ranger Suarez for Philadelphia. Gausman has looked like he's lost a step this season, and consistency has been a major issue for the veteran right-hander. Suarez, on the other hand, has been in fantastic form for most of the year. Still, you have to wonder when things might flip. Sometimes a guy who is struggling is due for a good outing, and a guy who has been lights out is due to get hit. It's also critical to point out that the Blue Jays lineup is built to give left-handed pitchers fits. They can stack their order with right-handed hitters, which is a major tactical advantage against a southpaw like Suarez. For the last month, the Blue Jays have been playing like one of the best teams in baseball, and they're not a squad you want to step in front of when they're on a roll. While Kevin Gausman has been a bit of a wild card, his season stats, including a 3.88 earned run average and a 1.03 WHIP, are more than respectable. The Phillies have been stuck in a pattern of inconsistency, failing to win 2 consecutive games all month. And even though Ranger Suarez has been sharp, his team hasn't helped him out, scoring a grand total of 3 runs for him in his last 2 starts combined. That slumping Phillies offense is a real red flag. I've been backing the Jays during this hot streak, and there's no reason to jump off the train now. This feels like a classic spot where the hot team keeps its momentum going. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Blue Jays money line is our full game side pick. Both of these ball clubs have shown a tendency to play in high-scoring games this season. When they squared off back in early June, the scoreboard was busy. 2 of their 3 games flew past the 10-run mark, and the series averaged 8 runs per contest, which suggests a certain comfort level for the hitters in this matchup. Looking at the season-long trends, Toronto has gone over the total in a majority of their games, with a 37-30-1 record to the over. The Phillies are closer to a .500 team in that regard at 30-35-3, but given the way Toronto is swinging the bats and how Philadelphia might be forced to respond, the stage is set for a game with plenty of runs. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Angels versus Baltimore Orioles. A weekend series gets underway on Friday night as the Los Angeles Angels travel to Baltimore to take on the Orioles in the first of a 3-game set. These 2 American League teams are on different trajectories, with the Angels looking to climb closer to the .500 mark while the Orioles are trying to find some footing and snap out of their season-long funk. When you look at the recent work of the 2 guys slated to start this game, there's a clear difference in performance. Over his last 7 trips to the mound, Jack Kochanovich has gone 2-3 with a bloated 5.91 earned run average and a 1.8 WHIP in 35 innings pitched. On the other side, Charlie Morton has been much more effective, posting a 2-1 record with a solid 3.49 earned run average and a 1.2 WHIP over his last 28.1 innings. Digging into the numbers a bit deeper, there's a massive gap in the team's batting average on balls in play. Los Angeles sits way down at 29th in the league with a .273 team BIP, while Baltimore is right in the middle of the pack at 16th with a .291 mark, suggesting they've had a bit more luck when the ball is put in play. Los Angeles rolls into this series playing its best stretch of baseball all year and is finally making some noise in the American League West. Their record on the road is a respectable 18-18, but they're facing an Orioles team that has been tough to figure out, even with a poor 13-19 record at home. Baltimore is starting Morton, who has been sharp lately, giving up 2 earned runs or less in 2 of his last 3 starts. The Angels are handing the ball to Kocianovic, who has been getting lit up, allowing 4 earned runs in each of his last 4 outings. Morton has simply been the more reliable arm in this matchup. On top of that, the Orioles have had the Angels' number recently, winning 3 of their last 4 meetings. As our first pick for this matchup, the Baltimore Orioles money line is our full game side pick. When you start breaking down the home and road splits for these pitchers, you can see a clear path to a high-scoring game. Jack Kocianovic has struggled mightily away from home this season, posting a 1-4 record with a sky-high 6.06 earned run average, while opponents are hitting .292 against him in his 6 road starts. Charlie Morton hasn't been a whole lot better in his own ballpark, where he's 2-3 with a 5.8 earned run average and a 1.54 WHIP. The run scoring opportunities won't end when the starters leave the game either. Both of these bullpens have been getting hammered all season long. The Orioles relief corps is ranked 26th with a 4.74 earned run average, while the Angels bullpen is even worse, sitting at 28th with a dismal 5.54 earned run average. The recent history between these two teams also points to runs, as the over has cashed in 6 of their last 10 head-to-head games. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Yankees versus Boston Red Sox. It doesn't get much better than this for a weekend starter. The classic baseball rivalry is renewed as the New York Yankees head to Boston to take on the Red Sox. Whenever these two teams get together, you can throw the records out the window. It's always a battle. It's easy to see why Garrett Crochet is getting some respect in this spot, considering he just handled the Yankees in his last start while Ryan Yarbrough really got knocked around. But here's the thing about baseball, beating the same team in back-to-back starts is one of the toughest things to do. That challenge gets even harder when you're facing a lineup as deep and as dangerous as New York's. The Yankees aren't the type of team to get shut down by the same guy twice in a row. They make adjustments, and they have long memories. You can bet they're coming into this one looking for payback. As our first pick for this matchup, the New York Yankees money line is our full game side pick. The first 3 games of this season series have been absolute fireworks, with every single one of them flying over the total. There's no reason to think that trend stops now, especially with how hot these lineups have been. Just last week, they were putting up video game numbers, combining for 15 or more runs in all 3 matchups. A huge part of that is Aaron Judge, who is on another planet right now, coming into this series having homered in 3 straight games. While Crochet has been a solid arm all year, you can't ignore that one of his worst outings of the season came against these very Yankees, when they tagged him for 5 earned runs. The Red Sox might have won that game and have trended under in 5 of their last 7, but the Yankees' offense is a different animal. New York has gone over the total in all 5 of their last 5 games, and all signs point to another slugfest. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.